there are some questions coming up about how universities and observatories interact. Certainly Haru works at a university, and how that happens in terms of like communication during a crisis, research contributions, things like that. So Sebastian, do you want to start us off?
Well, sure. For us, working with research groups and universities, since we're just starting, it's been a key point because it's getting a lot of help from people that were already working in different parts and monitoring stuff. So like, for instance, we work with the University of La Plata for our seismological group. And now actually the seismologists that we have come from their group. So that has been a tremendous synergy. And we had a lot of research projects that had been done from the university that helps a lot at our observatory. On the other hand, we have a great communication with the University of Buenos Aires, where they have an amazing geochemistry group. That's where Pablo also works. And they have been of tremendous help also teaching and trying to train our geochemistry. So there has been an amazing synergy. And also surveys sometimes have more funds that can help research groups to do other stuff or contacts. So I think that part of the synergy of working with university colleagues, I think, has been great for us. And I encourage a lot of the observatories to go into that direction. I think that there's a lot of potential. When you were discussing about doing research, I think that whenever I speak with people from different observatories in the world, most of them don't have enough time to process and to deal with all the data that they have. I still remember visiting you, Hannah, last year, and you were processing all the lava flows from Kilauea, and you were saying me, I don't have enough time to do this. And I think that having that help from universities make observatories work a lot better. Although there's always the part you have to interact regarding risk management and have a unique voice, and that sometimes it's hard because not all of the groups agree. But I think that there are a lot of cases worldwide where they have the discussions inside. So they get together, they discuss, and then there's only one voice, so try to be only one voice. So you should have the discussion inwards and not outwards, where people tend to get confused and don't know who to listen to. It's not always easy, but I think that that's the right direction to go, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Important in crisis communication. Mariton?
In the Philippines, it's quite a different story for us. We've always had a problem with the academe in that they do not actually try to work with us. They actually compete with us. So so this has always been a problem. For example, this recent eruption of the Al, we've seen a lot of their professors doing the work that we are actually doing in the field, instead of coordinating or trying to approach us and see how they can help or how we can work together or how we can collaborate. They do their own thing, even though they're actually not volcanologists, but maybe like structural geologists. So this has always been a problem. And I think in terms of the academe, the academe here perceives it as their right to conduct their own independent research. And so we have a bit of a problem with that. We do have colleagues in the academe who we work with. And these are the people who we like working with. They know our responsibilities and our mandates, and know that everything about an eruption crisis or an earthquake crisis, everything is our responsibility, and all of the information that is let out in the public is our something that we have to account for. So they respect the fact that we have to be the ones communicating and to the public. The information has to be a unified and consistent one. And if they have something to say, they discuss it with us in behind the scenes. However, there are also there are a lot of academicians who speak out in public, especially if they have contradicting views or inconsistent views with us. And it's quite frustrating for us, considering that we have all the data, for example. And yeah, this is quite a challenge for us. We are open to students are working on our data, and it really depends on the relationship we have with certain professors or certain groups. And this is something that we have to, if you are with the academy, this is something that you have to cultivate, the culture of professionalism or professional relationships with other scientists in your country. So if you want to work with in a particular volcano, and if you are planning to use data that we are collecting or we are acquiring or we are creating, you have to have at least have the skills or the attitude of communicating with us and not do your own thing and then later try to leverage all of that data from us, which happens all the time. So yeah, it's kind of a very not ideal situation in the Philippines, actually.
Yeah. Haru, in Japan, a huge amount of volcano monitoring is done by people at universities, including your institute. So can you speak to how universities and the government meteorological office decision-making is done?
Yeah, in Japan, I think it's a complicated situation. Historically, in Japan, university has own volcano observatory. First one is Earth Volcano Laboratory, and then University Tokyo has a volcano observatory, Kyoto, and major national university has own volcano observatory. But budget for university in Japan decreasing. So it's difficult to keep staff and maintain instrument, maintain facility. It's difficult situation. But public demand increasing for mitigation of volcanic disaster. So Japanese government decided to input Japan Meteorological Agency to increase number of stations and increasing staff. So balance university decreasing, weight of the university decreasing, increasing Japan Meteorological Agencies. So the situation slightly changed to shift from university to government agency. But one important thing is research section. In Japan, there's no unified big one research institute such as USGS, INZB. There's no one in Japan. So I hope we make a new research institute like USGS, INGB, PHIVOLCS in Japan, but it's difficult, complicated political system in Japan, I think. It's an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I think now that Jonathan's left, I get to speak as a volcano observatory person, I feel like. In the United States, the data streams, all of the monitoring, all of that is all being collected by US Geological Survey for the most part at all the different volcano observatories. But there's a lot of USGS staff who will be on students' committees because, yeah, it's all free and open to the public, and so universities will work on the seismic data coming out of the volcano observatories, other data sets. But it can be a challenge, yeah, in a crisis or something like that. Everyone who's responsible for responding to the eruption is very, very busy. They might, media wants to talk to people and will talk to academic folks, things like that. And it's all about trying to find how you can support each other best to convey the most accurate information and things like that. So in the United States now we have a little bit of a consortium discussion about how to, collect the best data from eruptions with academic support, as well as how academics can be involved in eruption response, things like that.